I recently saw a video on TikTok where there were two, I think it was a podcast about food, and one of the people on the podcast was saying that they believe that afternoon tea should only be traditional afternoon tea. So by that they mean sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, egg sandwiches, salmon sandwiches, and they don't like this whole kind of thing now with some afternoon teas where it's like non-traditional, so you may not have sandwiches and yeah, and I I did a TikTok about it, and because I wanted to know what people's opinions were, and it was quite mixed. There were some people that feel yes, afternoon tea should just be completely traditional, and there were others who said actually we like the variety of different types of afternoon tea, and I'm going with the latter because I review afternoon teas, and if all the afternoon teas were just purely traditional, I probably wouldn't review them because I would just find that really boring. Which leads me to this afternoon tea that I went to recently. It was at the Prince Atoki Hotel. It's a hotel that has two restaurants. Now, you don't have to stay at the hotel to go to these restaurants. The restaurant we went to was the Malt Lounge, where we had a Japanese afternoon tea. Now, this place was, oh, it was lovely. The ambiance, it was just really nice. I just really enjoyed it. Even when I went to the loo, like the loos were just, they were pristine and they smelled really nice. I say that because I have been to afternoon teas at, high end places and the loos have been abysmal. So that was already a thumbs up for me. Let's start with the service. Now, the service, there were three tables having afternoon tea because there's only about five tables. It's quite an intimate setting, and there was only one server, and you would think that should be okay. And I felt she did well, but I think there were times when I could see she was a little bit under pressure. Maybe it's all part of the whole thing. Well, you only want one server because of the intimate setting, but I think having two or one, maybe not two, but having somebody who regularly kind of pops in would have helped a little bit. But generally, the service was good. The savouries were sort of sushi based savouries. They knew that I was pescatarian, so they had to switch out some of the items, but that was fine. I like sushi. I've had it before, so there was like a tuna sushi and a vegetable sushi. The sweets, I hold up my hand. This is one place where I ate practically all the sweets, and you know the reason why? It's because they weren't over elaborate. They weren't over elaborate. I think I've come to that conclusion when sweets are not over elaborate, I like them. Because the over elaborate ones just don't tend to taste nice because everything is gone into how they look and not how they taste. I really like the sweets here. The scones were interesting. So we got two scones each, one plain and one which was matcha and cranberry. Now my friend, she didn't like the matcha cranberry one, but I actually really liked it. And this is somebody who doesn't really like um, matcha that much. But I really like these scones, the matcha and cranberry ones. They were a big hit for me. The drinking tea, wasn't such a big fan of them. I'll be honest, they kind of just tasted a bit samey. The first one I had, it kind of tasted like green tea. And then the other one I had, yeah, I just wasn't a big fan of them. I loved the containers they were in, but the teas in general wasn't a massive fan of them. So in general, a good afternoon tea. One thing that they probably should have done, which was such a basic thing, is have a glass of water on the table. You had to ask for water, and I feel you shouldn't have at an afternoon tea. All the afternoon teas I've been to, there's been water available or it's been offered. It wasn't offered here, and I'm just like, and I heard one of the other tables actually ask for water. So you should, afternoon teas, you've got to have water on the table. I'm sorry, that's just, it should be standard. I think, yeah. So the price was, this was the cost. So it was £60 each. It varied in terms of price because if you wanted to have sake or if you wanted to add some champagne, it was a little bit more expensive. But in general, I really like this afternoon tea. I was full after it, and it just makes me happy that I can try afternoon teas that aren't traditional. Sorry if you're a traditionalist, but I just like the opportunity to experiment with other afternoon teas. Sometimes it is hit or miss with how the non-traditional afternoon teas are, but I just like the fact that there is that availability. That's my review. Let me know in the comments if you're a traditional afternoon tea fan or a non-traditional one, and if you tried a Japanese style afternoon tea. Until next time, Kate lovers.